first game, and the Penguins weren't really very convincing. Weren't very convincing against Hong Kong Football Club, or else Football Club were quite good, depending how you looked at it. You familiar with many of these Penguins players, Jim?
I'm not. I'm more familiar. Actually, I'm familiar with the Penguins players. I'll be honest. But more familiar with the Wallabies, actually. So we've got Stephen Larkham. Obviously, people in rugby would have heard of Larkham. Obviously, the famous Wendell sailor. And Nathan Charles as well, who played a bit of rugby, Premiership rugby. I think it was at Gloucester. Yeah, I spoke to Justin Harrison before, asked him if they're taking it serious.
They last year, they actually, just in the second day, they really turned up. They weren't very good, and suddenly they realised that they were playing as classic Wallabies, and they were very good late in the tournament. I think they're a bit of an amateur tradition. They may go out on Wednesday night as well.
Of course.
The Irish Vikings and them will probably be out and about. Well, I think Nathan was at the Doddy Weir dinner last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he not? Wasn't Nathan? It was Big Justin that was throwing the pass into the crowd.
That's right, Justin Harrison. Yeah. Well, he just said to me that every time one of the classic Wallabies make a mistake, they get subbed off. So if they drop the ball, they get subbed off. If they grubber it and don't regather, they get subbed off as well. So
sounds like a good tour rule.
They've got a good setup.
Do you think that when it gets a bit hot, they might deliberately make mistakes? That's a long chase, and that young Wallaby is definitely not a classic because he's a bit too quick. For 17, I don't know who that's. Josh Turner was number 17, been chasing for the classic Wallabies there, but penalty under the post for Penguins, and maybe it was a free kick, so he hasn't found touch.
Ah! Why who?
I don't know if you're hearing that in the air, but there's some small child's baby monitor or something that's coming over our sound system.
Oh, we're just looking after kids as well, so we're commentating, we're watching the rugby here in Hong Kong, we're looking after kids as well.
It's about the most sensible noise that's come out of this microphone all day, actually. Classic Wallabies are actually, they've got their tails up here, Jim.
Yeah, they have, and there's a bit of space behind the Penguins as well. So we're not normally seeing a lot of kicking, but they've clearly seen a little bit of space in the backfield there. As we see, Penguins did a good job there as well. Penguins clearly a good team. There's a familiar name as well on the team sheet. He's not on the pitch right now, but Thomas Waldron.
Oh, what a great player.
Exactly. So
I actually thought, when he came up to the Northern Hemisphere, I just thought he was such an effective player for so many years. How many tries did he score?
Oh, ridiculous. Thomas the Tank. See, yeah, he's definitely not a classic Wallaby with footwork like that. That's no disrespect to them. And Josh Turner. Very stop-start today.
Yeah, very stop-start. But, with a couple of injuries to Fiji Army.
There was, yeah.
And they weren't the kind of Fiji team I was expecting. They're more ones and twos, big Fijians.
Yes, they are, yeah. So, I commentated on that game with Andy Good, and a couple of nasty injuries, so we wish them well. But there's talk of the Fiji Army being favourites.
I'd thought that maybe before the tournament they might be, but looking at that, I think maybe they're maybe short of the twinkling feet that they'll need to win it.
They've turned up well fed.
Yeah, well fed, exactly. Maybe another thing is they've got one of the chaps has gone to hospital with concussion, apparently. I spoke to the manager, but it's a Fijian, so I'm sure somebody else in the crowd has turned up and they've still got a full squad. Yeah.
To be able to rock up.
I don't know who more.
Have you ever been to Fiji?
He might be pretty wealthy, so that's
It's also sponsored by Natural, THL, Blue Water, Allied World Insurance.
I don't know if anyone in the online can actually hear this, but we have some children's commentary going on somewhere.
You the company who made this, man. You should know that. You're an
We see the Penguins just trying to make it up to halfway off that midfield scrum, if you like. Big physical carry there.
I think the biggest physical guy I've seen so far today is the big number 3 for Gafcal, who the water boy put himself underneath to hold up.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have been doing, Jim.
And we'd love to give you some names on the Penguins, but unfortunately they're wearing letters and we've got the numbers. So
it's in code. It's in code, mate.
So we'll say the big number E's just run down the wing. He's had a good carry there. who's looking to pass to number A. He's missed number A and he's hit number I. Letter I, number I.
Yeah. But the easiest team to commentate today was the Water Boys, mate, because right in the front of all the strips it said my name is Doddy, so we just said Doddy to Doddy to Doddy. It was straightforward. Yeah. You going tonight, Jim?
Let's go.
Yeah, going to Doddy Weir event tonight. Should be class. I went there last year. I'll tell you what, it was great actually. Commentated on the Water Boys wearing the full Doddy Weir tartan with My Name's Doddy Foundation on the front of them, and they had a blinder of a match about 3 or 4 matches ago against the Beerits, the winners from last year. You see a short line out there. I love a little bit of that, bit of innovation.
And that was classic Wallaby, because that big fella just trundled.
Yeah. See on Maui, they play a wide game as well.
There's maybe some gas here. Oh, it's a great chase. He might have turned that over, Jim.
Yeah, I think he has. No, I think he gave it. He gave the turnover initially, and then he was playing it on the floor. I see Nathan Charles passing the ball into midfield to the big fella, Sione Mau. Oh. What a collision that was. He skittled 2 of the Penguins. Get it? 2 Penguins skittled? Yeah, see what I've done there.
I was going to say, Jim, I hear that are you featuring in the charity touch game?
Yes, I am,
has that always been part of your skill set?
It was. As we're seeing a try, we thought a try was going to be, so I was going to say that was a Jim Hamilton.
Beauty! What a beautiful tackle!
Jim Hamilton running down the wing tomorrow. I don't think we'll see too much of that, but no, I'm looking forward to. Oh, what an absolute monster! Nathan Charles, he'll be used to them as well.
And I like it, the referee's smiling. That's always good. See a big hit and the referee thinks it's funny.
Of course.
Oh, and Big Sione's coming off for a rest.
And then Wendell Saylor's come on for a trot, if you like.
He was some player in his heyday though, wasn't he?
Oh, he was quality, yeah.
Yes, he scored a great try here last year.
He went across both codes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rugby League as well.
Yeah. I think probably more successful in league than he was in Union, but still, he was brilliant in both codes.
I didn't want to say when I saw him standing on the wing, I was actually questioning whether he should be on the wing or not, because he's put on a bit of
muscle.
Yeah. He's in his prime. But it's good seeing quality players like that, you know, guys who've been world class turning up.
I mean, Jonah turned up here late in his career and played after his. It's just, you get some great, and it's great seeing the young kids, because, you know, I guarantee we'll see somebody today that will be in Super Rugby or Premiership Rugby 18 months' time. First real pressure the classic Wallabies have been under.
It is Penguins, you know, 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes left. Yeah, and that pressure's told now. You know, it's 0-0. I'd say first bit of pressure classic Wallabies have been under. You know, now 6-7 metres out.
So Jim, I don't want to say anything, but this is your first time back in Hong Kong since I saw you with John Barclay. So have you got your flight booked for going back? You know when it is?
I don't know what happened last time. I've completely erased me missing my flight, apparently. Last time I was here for the Hong Kong long lunch, so I've erased that from my memory, and I've made sure that I've got someone chaperoning me around and making sure that I'm locked up in bed by midnight. So
you did really well the night before the dinner. You did a long lunch. You went home early, and then when we had a lunch with John Barclay, you were phoning him in a panic from the airport while we were doing the Q&A.
Very true.
But hey,
I don't remember that now. It's completely been erased.
Probably fake news again.
Of course.
Fake news, yeah. This is a bit of
innovation.
Yep.
See Tom Waldron actually put on his backside, which he wouldn't have been used to. We mentioned him. Wealth of experience in the Premiership and obviously in New Zealand and for England. They're on it.
That's just a minute to go and a half and Penguins are in.
And finally the deadlock broken.
The thing about Thomas Waldron, I always felt his head guard was very unjust, because it makes him look far beefier than he is.
I think he weighs an extra small. It's a great try there by the Penguins. They've been under a lot of pressure this game. It's all been the classic Wallabies. They get one opportunity. Bit of ill discipline. They manage to make that pressure count.
Version is good. Penguins 7, classic Wallabies 0.
Well, let's hope the Wallabies get back into this. It's got all the makings of a good game of rugby, I think, and they've looked good with the ball in hand.
Oh, they have. Well, a quality team, haven't they? You know, you look at the players that they've got, like we mentioned that. You know, mentioned Nathan Charles. I think he's wearing number 12 for the Classic Wallabies. Physical game though, the collisions.
Does it class as a maul when there's just one from each team holding them up? But yeah.
See the players now fighting to put their knees on the floor, so then it becomes a ruck.
Big Wendell. Going inside when I think he might have gone outside in his younger days.
So they've got a little bit of space now, just on this outside edge. You can get some quick ball. We're now running to extra time in this first half. See, desperate to try and get on the score line. They've got a bit of open field here now. It's a good option to kick through there if he gets the bounce of the ball from Nathan Charles. He doesn't. Oh, he does.
Great hands. Great hands. He's hit the ground. They've got to release that now. Penalty.
Now they get some quick ball here. They're on 2-on-1.
Big Wendell.
He's going to walk in. No, he's not.
There's your bit of innovation again, Jim.
Outrageous pass out the back door. And Wendell put the fend out. Maybe he should have put the shoulder down. Went through him. Great defence there. Oh, great finish.
Oh, that's number 15.
Will Maddox.
Classic try, classic Wallabies.
There you go. It certainly was a classic try.
Will Maddox wriggling through there.
Half time.
Making of a good second half that. I don't know how long that was 20 minutes in the first half, wasn't it?
I'll tell you, if you're a player on there, I think it felt like 20 minutes anyway. They've been a bit lucky. It's not got quite as hot as it looked like it would do, but I don't know how much you've played in these artificial pitches, Jim. They're heat baths.
Version is good.
Now, I played at Saracens for my last 3 seasons
7 apiece, half time.
on the artificial turf, but obviously the conditions very different in terms of weather. I was over here in Hong Kong. We were filming a documentary on Hong Kong rugby, and trained with the Hong Kong rugby team on these artificial pitches, and the heat coming up, it's going to be really difficult to play in.
It's when you just don't want to be at the bottom of a rock. Something keeps coming over our kids commentating. They keep coming over our sound system. Only once every day. There are young kids doing some sort of commentary. So what are you doing in the UK just now, Jim?
Well, I'm doing the podcast, me and Andy Goo, that's been well received. You know, I've got my own digital media company filming documentaries on rugby and stuff like that, so no, I'm loving it. I mean, it's so much easier. I do commentary as well, so I commentate on the Premiership and the Pro 14, which is good, keeps me busy. So much easier watching a game and judging a game as opposed to being judged as a player. And
it's obvious the mistakes they make that you can see it there. Exactly. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Yeah,
why did he give away that penalty? As I say that, I know that I've got a million people thinking, hang on, who are you to say about giving away a penalty? So
no, it's I think but it is great actually if you get the right ex-player commentating, you get so much more sense. I mean, I actually find watching rugby, the hardest thing to commentate is the scrum. You know, it seems to me now that teams are getting penalised for losing scrums, you know, rather than penalising playing. It's really quite difficult to watch. I mean, I know they had to quicken the game up. You know, they couldn't have all gone down.
yeah, it's interesting, the scrum, isn't it? It's one of them myths, one of them wonders of the rugby world. Everyone has an opinion, but they are so difficult. Referees are now letting them play. Talking of play, we're about to kick off again for the second half, 7-all. It's been a great game so far. It's tight, evenly matched.
Here we go, start the second half. All locked up, 7 apiece.
Well, Jim, where's your money?
You've got to look at the Wallabies, haven't you, with the class? Larkham's not on yet.
Yeah, you think that, but you'd think the young legs with the Penguins, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Penguins are good, two very good teams, like they are. I mean, it's going to come down to small margins, but you've got two quality teams here playing.
Just looked to me in the first half of the Wallabies when they had the ball, they were using it really well. So we'll see how it goes. But this Penguins team's got a great tradition in this tournament. They're rarely not in a semi-final of a cup, so we'll see.
The classic Wallabies going in, 4-man line out, going in slow, trying to get a bit of tail ball, way underthrown.
Memories of Scottish line-outs there, Jim?
It was two straight up and a two-step lob. That's about it. Conditions slightly different here than in Scotland.
So were you at Twickenham?
Sir, yes, I was.
It was unbelievable.
Amazing. It went from being the most embarrassing game of rugby that I've witnessed or been a part of to the most proudest game of rugby that I had either as a player or as a spectator.
Well, the immediate half-time, Scott Hastings talking about record losses. Phenomenal. I don't know what happened. Anyway, let's back to here. Classic Wallabies, still, they're looking quite quick.
That's a great offload off the floor there by Luke Kimber, the number 5, the classic Wallabies.
Big number 8 sounds fairly... Angus Bell, he looks pretty big and quick as well. Turner on 17 there. Oh, yeah, there's a fair bit of youth in this classic Wallabies team, shall we say.
Yeah, there is.
But yeah, you're talking about the likes of Stephen Larkham. What a great rugby player he was in his day.
Amazing. Not sure what happened with him and Checker and the national team. Nothing's come out behind closed doors. Try and do a bit of digging while we're here, because he'll be a real loss to the Australian national team.
Yep.
Only a few months out now from the World Cup, but it still looks like he can play a bit. Hopefully he'll get out there today. It's a great carry by Sione, the big number 1.
Oh, just a spill at the wrong time. So, when you were at Saracens, you'll have known Joe Shaw.
Of course.
Because Joe was out here coaching Kowloon when we were... He did a great job for our club out here, actually. I mean, I'm involved more in Hong Kong Scottish now, but Joe had a great time out here, and we've actually followed his career back there. He's done really well for himself.
He was a fantastic coach, one of the best coaches, if not up there. He's the best skills coach I've ever had, and he's branched out a lot further than that now. He's doing a lot more on counter-attack and attack at Saracens, but he is a fantastic coach and a great person. Do you know what I mean? Being able to, and that's one of the things in rugby, you need to have a rapport with your players, and someone like Shawsey, who did so well in Hong Kong, who's so well thought of, that's exactly what he did, so can't speak highly enough of that guy.
I'm pleased to hear, because I mean, obviously when you see somebody on TV that you know personally who's just gone, seems such a big stratospheric rise, but he seems to just been brilliant at it, so that's good to hear. Hope he's not listening though, because I don't really want him
He'll be listening.
Yeah.
The Penguins got more appetite to play now. They're not even thinking of that kicking option.
Yep.
Nathan Charles is just in the pocket, trying to close the door now. The big pass by Waldrum on the outside. That's a massive collision.
That's a big collision, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a win for the classic Wallabies there. I think he's saying his left foot was in touch maybe. Huge hit by Nathan Charles there. Gave him the outside. He took it. Then the cover tackle.
You play any 10s, Jim?
No.
It's a game for big lads. You know, it's not the 7 skill set. These big collisions, you don't get them in 7s.
Never appealed to me. I thought this was more of a fun competition. They're taking it seriously, these lads.
No, this used to have 2 or 3 pub teams. They don't have anymore. It's just, and that is a break. Clean through. Penguins, letter number something?
E. But apologies to the millions listening out there. We haven't got
Breaking the deadlock.
the sheet
Penguins.
with the names on, unfortunately, so we can't do the players justice, which is a real shame for the Penguins. Good finish. It's been a slight momentum shift in the game.
Next up after this, we've got the host club, Hong Kong Football Club versus the Asia Pacific Dragons, who need to win if they're going to try and get into the cup competition tomorrow.
Brilliant. Is that me and you?
That's still us, Jim, yeah. No other volunteers. We've got that, and then we've got the Hunter and Bowie East Africans versus Fiji Army. That's maybe quite hard to call.
Wallabies got just over 5.5 minutes now. 4.5 minutes, I should say.
Yeah, Penguins are really putting the pressure now on the breakdown, but I think this Wallabies team's got the skill to step out of here.
Yeah, they've got to go for it now. Got to go for it. They've got to stay in control, retain possession. I think
as you said that, Jim, kick. I mean, it happened to me already.
Poor kick that, straight down the neck. Oh, slight slip, big collision there.
Thomas Waldron throwing a fairly floaty pass, but
been a clash of heads on the other side of the pitch. Big moment in the game. Nathan Charles with a tap and go as well. Great option, Grubber through.
oh, and some pace.
Yeah, Patrick Phipps with a kick through. To Will Maddox to finish that off. Great option.
Second try there for Will Maddox.
So when you talk about
12-all, kick to come.
making the right opportunities at the right time, and that was the right time to kick. Seeing that more and more, even in the 15s. He's kicked through. Little grubbers to retrieve.
Get their noses in front. 14 points to 12 over Penguins.
And it is true, the Wallabies are slightly in front, a nose in front. 14 points to 12. Added the extras on both. Away again, this short kick that they like.
2 minutes.
They're going to throw everything at it now, the Penguins. Penalty, didn't need that for not rolling away. I think he's pinged Sione, the number 1.
Yeah, big.
We see the great man, number 7, running onto the field. No, it's not. It looks like Larkham, but it's not. Younger version.
Larkham's still doing a good job in shouting from the touchline, actually.
Stephen Hollies has come on into the line out. Looks athletic. Good option for the Penguins there. Hit up in midfield. They'll be looking for. Wallabies got a good line in defence though, if they can make their tackles.
He's gone a bit high there, has he?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either, but you knew the referee was going to give it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, 100%. It's penalty on penalty now as we come into the final minute.
Last chance saloon. Penguins heading to sequence corner.
There's a few scenarios that this can play out. I mean, if the Classic Wallabies hold on, they're in a really good position to top this group.
Good option, good quick line out. Ball pass as well. Just stopped. Big Wendell Sailor wants it.
He fancied a rip, but he's actually...
Oh, he's done him, it's on. Oh, it's great defence.
Oh,
he's managed to keep it in. Wow.
That's an absolute saver.
It is. To the much dislike of the Penguin bench, they were not happy with that call whatsoever. Without seeing it on replay,
Yeah, I don't think we're going to say that. It looked a bit contentious, I'd say, Jim, but I also say that that's probably a bit of a surprise result.